The Democrat Party Hates America by Mark Levin is a provocative critique of the Democratic Party in the United States. Levin argues that the party has fundamentally transformed over the years, becoming increasingly radical and opposed to the tradition of American values. He asserts that the party's policies and rhetoric undermine the principles of freedom, individualism, and limited government. Levin contends that the Democratic Party's agenda is driven by a desire for power and control, often at the expense of the nation's well-being. Through historical analysis and contemporary examples, Levin aims to demonstrate that the party's actions are detrimental to America's future. He provides a number of examples. 1. Historical revisionism. He argues that the Democratic Party has engaged in rewriting American history to fit its narrative. He claims that the Democrats have downplayed or ignored the party's historical connections to slavery, segregation, and opposition to civil rights, while projecting these issues onto Republicans. 2. Radical progressivism. Levin criticizes the Democratic Party's embrace of progressive policies that he believes undermine the individual freedoms and constitutional principles. He points to initiatives such as the Green New Deal, universal health care, and increased government regulation as examples of this shift towards socialism. Identity politics. Levin asserts that the Democratic Party promotes identity politics, which he believes divides Americans along racial, gender, and socioeconomic lines. He argues that this approach fosters resentment and conflict rather than unity and equality. 4. Immigration policies. The book critiques the Democratic Party's stance on immigration, particularly its support for more lenient policies. Levin claims that these policies compromise national security, strain public resources, and undermine the rule of law. Media and academia. Levin discusses the influence of left-leaning media and academia, arguing that they serve as propaganda arms for the Democratic Party. He suggests that these institutions shape public opinion and suppress dissenting viewpoints. 6. Attacks on the Constitution. Levin contends that the Democratic Party seeks to undermine the Constitution, particularly the First and Second Amendments. He argues that efforts to restrict free speech and gun rights are the part of a broader agenda to erode individuals' liberties. And 7. Economic policies. The book critiques democratic economic policies such as high taxes, extensive welfare programs, and opposition to free market principles. He argues that these policies stifle economic growth and lead to greater dependency on the government. By providing these examples, Levin aims to demonstrate that the Democratic Party's actions and policies are harmful to America's foundational principles and future prosperity. Mark Levin concludes The Democrat Party Hates America with a call to action for Americans who share his concerns about the direction of the Democratic Party and its impact on the nation. He emphasizes the importance of returning to the core principles of the Constitution and the values of individual liberty, limited government, and free market capitalism. Levin urges readers to become more politically active, to educate themselves and others about the issues, and to support candidates and policies that align with these foundational principles. Levin's conclusion is a rallying cry for conservatives to stand firm against what he views as the Democratic Party's radical agenda. He stresses the need for vigilance in protecting American freedoms and preserving the nation's heritage. By engaging in the political process and advocating for conservative values, Levin believes that Americans can counteract the influence of the Democratic Party and ensure a prosperous future for the country.